Hello friends, I'm Jonathan Pishner with Apex Counseling, and with the new year, it seemed like a good time to talk about stress. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about stress today is because there are two types of stress. Most people are only familiar with one type, the negative type of stress. And knowing how positive and negative stress interact with each other is valuable for a lot of people's lives. So negative stress is distress. Most of us are familiar with the term distress. When you're in distress, you're experiencing anger or anxiety or sadness, and oftentimes with a set of negative thoughts that come with that, with difficult body sensations that come with that. The positive stress is called Eustress, E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S, which most people don't even realize is a thing. They've never heard the term Eustress. They don't realize that such a thing as positive stress exists. It's important to know about this because there's two things that can happen as it relates to the interplay between positive and negative stress. The first one is this. Positive stress comes from things like excitement, joy, love, like high levels of positive emotional states create eustress. Now, even though these are good and they're states that we would prefer to be in, they are actually still stressful on the body and brain. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that it's difficult to sustain joy and deep love and all of the most highly positive emotional states because of that stress. When a person is attempting to be more positive and essentially to live a life where the positive states are higher, because most people can get to contentment, but a lot of people want to have the highs be even higher. If you can't do that or can't do it easily or readily, it's oftentimes because your body and brain can't take much more in the way of stress, even the good type of stress, because you basically are maybe out of energy to be able to experience those things. So if we talk about eustress and distress, and what is important to know about these is everybody knows it's important to reduce distress for the service of not feeling bad. However, a lot of people aren't really in touch with how much energy is required to experience the highest of positive states, eustress. And one of the things that can happen is even if you don't experience tons of negative emotions, just through lifestyle design, you might actually be limiting your ability to have the highest of positive emotions because you might not be leaving yourself enough energy to be able to do that. If you really overexpend your energy on work and on taking care of the home, and if you have kids, taking care of the kids, if you lavishly overspend your energy in those types of work and don't leave any left, you actually severely limit your ability to experience the highest positive emotional states. Most people don't realize this. They don't realize there's an energy management component to being able to be in the highest of positive states. Since those are still stressful in the body and they require energy, they're basically energetically and neurologically expensive. You can't overspend your energy on work, come home and expect to be in a joyful state. The best oftentimes you can hope for is content and peaceful, which is a positive but low energy state. So that's one of the most important concepts to know about eustress. The other important concept is that when you're experiencing eustress, the body sometimes misreads it and identifies it as distress, even if you are trying to be in a positive state. And here's why. The body doesn't do a particularly good job in differentiating between sensations. So let's take one of the most common sensations that comes with high energy emotional states. Elevated heart rate. Elevated heart rate comes with anxiety, fear. It also comes with excitement. Now, the trouble with this is you can start elevating, your body response starts to elevate from excitement, But if you're used to being in a fear state, your brain can sometimes misread what you're experiencing, which sounds crazy in a way, but it does. And basically go to the anxiety spot instead of the excitement spot. One of the things that a person can do to help themselves with eustress and with being able to experience it better is, if the body is starting to respond and you're registering that, and then you start to move to a place of anxiety, checking in briefly and seeing like, wait, hold on, I was starting to experience elevation. Was that from excitement or was that from fear? You know, I'm starting to feel hot. Is that from anger or is that from excitement? Bringing mindful awareness to which emotional state you're experiencing oftentimes is enough to interrupt the process. And if you were moving into an excited state and got diverted into fear or anger, it's oftentimes enough to bring you back to the positive state. So knowing to do that is not obvious to most people. And really it's only obvious if you've had psychology training. And some people even go so far as to try to reframe their distress as eustress, and go so far as to try and convince themselves when they have those body sensations that they're experiencing a state of excitement. And some people are able to do that, but for most people, it's perfectly sufficient to just check in when you're experiencing any sort of distress, especially as it relates to coming up from body sensations, and seeing, you know, okay, wait, did I start in a place of excitement and then I got diverted, or am I actually feeling distress? So these are two very quick concepts that I wanted to share today, because if you don't realize that there is a difference between positive and negative stress, most people don't realize that they have to actually leave some energy on the table to experience positive stress and to experience the highest of emotional states. And most people also don't realize that because you can accidentally get diverted into a negative emotional state because your body doesn't read sensations with terrific automatic accuracy, a lot of people don't check in and see, you know, wait, am I really in distress, or is this excitement or a piece of another positive emotional state, and I'm just so used to going into distress that I automatically went there. So these are two concepts to try out. Some people will be able to make these go a fair distance themselves. Some people will need some help to be able to do it, but if you're able to take this and do it yourself, then terrific. And as always, if you feel like somebody can get value out of this, feel free to share it with them. And as always, if you need more extensive help, definitely seek out a good licensed clinician who can help you take a concept like this and deepen it further to help out your life. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. My name is Jonathan Pishin with Apex Counseling, and I'll see you next time.